Hello, guys, and not just developers. It's me again, Lucas. I hope you enjoyed previous stream, which we will build up on today. And I appreciate some of the comments that asked to do it. Actually, one comment, so I really appreciate it. And today, right now, I'm gonna quickly go through everything that we're gonna build today. So let's start. First things first, as I already mentioned, we are going to build a crypto price tracker and actually continue building from previous week. We already had some progress, but there's a lot more that we can add and a lot more different technologies that we can explore, which we will definitely do today. So wait a bit and you'll see which ones. Okay. What are we going to do during this stream? So we are going to touch more different technologies, let's say, that you kind of use in React Native and quite often. So first things first, we are going to implement navigation because we didn't manage to do that in the previous stream. Second of all, we will actually implement it with Axios, and we'll be able to fetch the data from CoinGecko API, and we'll get the real data on our application, which is really exciting to be able to build your own crypto price tracker however you want. So after that, we are going to introduce a bottom navigation menu, which is actually kind of probably most of the applications these days have that. And I think it's pretty important to show how it's done, how it's implemented. And yeah, especially when it changed from version 5 to version 6, some things. So we're going to use the newest version, of course. And I hope you'll enjoy it. Next, we're going to build our own watch list. So we would never miss our cryptocurrency price changes, and yeah, that because you can probably, it's pretty hard to track all of the cryptocurrency prices in one list. So, and you probably don't have all of them bought, or you are not interested in all of them. So this watch list will help us save the ones that you're interested in, which is really nice. And to do that, we are going to use Context API, which is something new that we will touch. And it's pretty important. Context API is basically how you can share the data in all of your application globally. That's more or less share and also change it. So that's a simple explanation of it. And last but not least, we will touch async storage, which is storage on your phone, let's say local. So you'll be able to store data on your phone, and you can close the app, do whatever you want. You'll go back, the data will be there. The only thing is you will lose the data after you uninstall the app, but I will go over it a bit later more. So, okay, next slide. In this build, we're going to use Expo and simple JavaScript because these are probably, this is the easiest way to get started with React Native. And that's what I'm trying to showcase, how easy it is to start doing something, building small apps, building small components even with React Native. And this is probably the best way to showcase and not confuse everybody with the different technologies. And yeah. So I just want to quickly mention why Vadim is not here. And I hope you miss him, but I think you're going to have to stay with me for a little bit longer because currently Vadim is working and spending most of his time on building his premium course, and he is really investing a lot of time in it. And he wanted to invest even more so you could get it faster. Therefore, why I'm here. And this course is a really huge course that will cover everything that's important. And therefore, I definitely recommend joining the waitlist and become a better you, because this will cover a lot of important things in React Native, Amplify, and a lot of more different technologies. So if you want to get your knowledge to the next level, I think you have to join the waitlist. And because this will help you to become a full stack developer. And may I add, a proper full stack developer. That's, I think, the best way to start. So join the waitlist on the link below, academy.notjust.dev. I think we can slowly start going into building the application. So these are the things that you will probably need to build this application. The first link will be asset bundle, where you will get dummy data, images, icons, presentation, this one, and other important things. Second one is Expo environment setup, where Vadim covers every step on setting up Expo environment on your Windows machine. And actually, currently, this week he released a new video that covers Expo setup on Mac OS. So you can definitely go to his channel and set it up very easily. And last one will be Git repository, which will hold all the code that we built previous stream and on which we will build on today. Okay. What's next? I think let's roll the intro and start building. So, hello guys, and welcome from Lithuania. It's it's not very late in my country right now, but it's quite dark. And let's see what you're talking. So not a lot of hellos yet, but I think we will come there. And I hope you're having a great day, great Friday. Let let me add. And I hope you'll enjoy this stream and learn something new, at least one of the things. I think we can go and start building and working on the application itself. Hello, Vadim. Hello, Nash. I'm happy you're joining and watching and being active in the chat. Okay, so let's start. Oh, from Kenya. Wow, that's far. Really nice. Nice. Here let me do this. So actually, let me add real quick still the presentation and show you what we're gonna do first. So first step is to implement navigation, and we can start doing that. Okay, so first thing, actually, I'll show you how I do things like that, and probably that's a good practice, just to go and go to React Navigation, open React Navigation, go to their documentation, and we can easily see all of the documentation that we need and start implementing or not implementing, but installing the packages and everything that we need. So first of all, you will see you'll have to install this the React Navigation native, and you can install it either with npm or yarn. I use yarn, but it's actually not that much of a difference anymore, so you can use whichever you want. Let me go back. Actually, let me put this. Let me go back here. Open the terminal. and add React Navigation Native. Yeah, I will. After installing this, I will quickly go through what we already have in the application. And but if you want to see everything from step by step, you can go to not just the to Vadim's notjust.dev YouTube channel and just watch the first part to catch up, which we did both with Vadim actually, and talked a lot. Actually, we learned each other, we taught each other new things, which yeah, I recommend watching that video. And second thing that we need to do is either to, if we're using Expo, install these dependencies with Expo, or installing dependencies into a bare React Native project like this if you're using bare React Native project. But in this case, we need Expo because we are using Expo. Let's copy everything, go back, paste everything, and let's install it. Oh, I'm happy. Vehuchilo, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, that you upload your first video. That's really nice. Good job. We are not going to use AVS in this stream. It's still covering a little bit more advanced topics like context API, async storage, and how to manage everything like global data in the application. But we are not touching AVS yet, hopefully. So yeah, we just installed this, and I think we are ready to launch our application, right? So let's do yarn start to start our development server. Okay, it opened it here, but I would prefer to have it on this screen that you see. So let me quickly do this. Here we are. Yeah, we started our development server, and now we can simply click run iOS simulator, and it should open our application. Okay, yeah. Oh, as you see, it says opening Expo on this URL on iPhone 11. And we can also see the same things here, console logged. So yeah, you can see that right now it's building JavaScript bundle. So it might take a little bit of time, and during that time, let me drink some water. Oh, and as you can see from, if you remember on the last screen, I had to update my Expo Go application on iPhone, and I promised that I will. And as you can see, I did. Yeah, okay, let's wait till it builds. Not that much left. Okay, and here it is. So if you remember, what we did during, I'll cover real quick what we did during previous stream. We implemented a little bit of details on coin, which you can drag the price, and the price will change accordingly. Also, we implemented a coin converter, which will convert Bitcoin to USD and USD to Bitcoin. Also, let me quickly add this home screen. Also, we implemented a list of cryptocurrencies, which we display probably everything that's important to know from the first glance. But all of this is dummy data that you get in with the assets. But only for now. We'll definitely change that later. But for now, we need to implement some sort of navigation in our application because, well, I'm not sure if there's an application. Probably you could create a simple application without using navigation, but you will most likely use it in every application that you work on. And we, as you remember, we already, hello Ahmed, and I'm really glad that you like it, like my streams, and yeah, I really appreciate it. And Agnil, Vadim right now, as I mentioned previously, is working on a course for full stack React Native developer, which you can join his waitlist. And I really suggest you do that. And he wasn't able to join the stream because he wants to release that course as fast as possible to you guys. So I think we should say thank you to Vadim for that. Thank you, Zach. Thank you very much. Okay, so we can probably continue. So first thing after installing React Navigation, what we can do is create a navigation folder where we will keep all of our navigation related things in the application. So let me quickly just do that, navigation. And in here, let's create a index.jsx. And in this file, we need to import some of the things. So let's start with importing React because that's needed in most of the files. Then let's import from React Navigation native. I think it should be native stack. I'm not sure. Let me quickly check. React Navigation. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Like I'm showing, probably most of the time you will do this. You will go and check. Okay, so how to do it? You can simply go like hello React Navigation and see what are they doing. So yes, they're creating create stack navigator, importing from, as I said, React Navigation native stack. So let's do just that. Let's import it. What else do we need? Probably for now, we don't really need much else to import. So let's just create a const stack. Create stack navigator. And from this, we can create const navigation. Let's not forget to export it. Export default navigate. Okay. Third time is the charm. Third navigation, perfect. And now in here, we can return our navigation, which will be, we will call this stack. And on this, we will say stack.navigator. And let's close it for now. But so yeah, let's right now don't give any props there. So also, okay, so we have a stack navigator. But this is, to explain it better, this is basically what will hold, what screens it will hold. It's really probably not that easy to explain, but stack navigator will hold all of the screens in your application. So let's say I can easily add stack dot screen, and with this, I actually don't need it like this. I can simply close it like that. And this stack screen has some required props that we need to pass. So first of all, a name. How will we call this screen, and how will we later on get to it? Let's say, so we will call this screen home, because that's our home screen, the first screen that we will go to when you open the application. But okay, so it has a name, but how does it know that this home needs to go here? Because I can give here whatever name I want. I can say whatever. And okay, that means they are not connected. So how do I connect these? So there is a second argument or parameter that we need to pass there, and it's called component. And this component will, in this component, we will specify, okay, so when I call home, I need to access this component. So that means I need to import it here, right? So let's do just that, import. Let's call it home screen. And let's, forgot the end. And let's import it from, yeah, from this screens / home screen, and yeah, and pass it here. So now we connected all of the dots. So right now, when we say later, I'll show you how we do that. But when we will say navigate to home, it will check in the stack. Okay, yeah, we have home, and then it will check. Okay, but how? Which component represents home? And we say, okay, so this component represents home. That means we need to render this. Yeah, and we also have coin detail screen. So we can just copy and coin detailed screen. And now we will import coin detail screen here from coin detail screen, which is here. And we will say that, okay, we pass it here. And if we call, oh no, not header. We need this here. And now it knows, okay, if you call coin detail screen, that means I need to render this component. Let's see. Okay, nothing. Everything probably. Let's see. Oh, why don't use React snippets to simplify my work? Actually, that's a good point. I need to set it up myself on my. I don't really know why. I just got used to that. At first, when I was starting programming in my university, I didn't use them on purpose because I wanted to uh, build into my brain. Okay, that's how we do it without snippets. You need to import this. You need to do that. You need to do that. And as you know, repetition is the best way to learn something. So I was repeating that action so many times that I can write it with my hand on a paper. And if I would have used snippets, I'm not sure if I would have learned it that well. So that's why I didn't use snippets before. Right now, I don't have them set up yet either way, because I'm so used to it that I like writing it. And also, it's better to show for new people how to do it as well without writing 3 letters, enter, bam, everything is ready. Because if they don't have that set it up on their VS Code, that it will not work for them and they might be confused. So that's actually why I don't use snippets yet. I probably should do it because that will increase my productivity a little bit more. So yeah. Let's save it. Okay, so we have 2 screens. And now, okay, but what can we do with these screens? We do have them, right? But how do I navigate from each other? So first of all, there is one more thing that we need to do. And we can go here and we need to wrap our whole application or our stack navigator. It depends how you want to do it. But I usually just wrap my whole application in this navigation container. In order, yeah, because we have to do it. It says here, navigation container is a component which manages our navigation tree and contains the navigation state. This component must wrap all navigator structure. Usually would render this component at the root of our app, which is usually the component exported from your app.js. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do actually. So let's take this, the navigation container. Let's go to our app.js. Right now we can delete these because we will not use them anymore, and import navigation container from React Navigation /native. And in here, as they said, we need to wrap our whole application with this navigation container. So, okay, let's close. Paste it in. Yeah, now we wrapped our whole application in this container. Let's save it. And let me go. Okay, let's close. So as you can see, can't find variable home screen. And it's because I'm not importing it here. So I can just simply remove it. But I do need to do one more thing, because now, okay, it renders the application. And it will render only this view with a status bar. There's nothing else that we imported or that we give it to render, which is why we will import React navigation from source, from this navigation that we just created. So we are importing this into here. And also let's render it. Navigation. Let's close it. Let's save it. And React navigation could not be found within the project or module. Let's close this one. I don't need this one, or this one yet. And also, there is, I think I did install everything. No. So I need to actually install the native stack navigator library. And I think I didn't do that. Let me quickly check in my package.json. Yeah, I didn't do that yet. So let's open our terminal and install it. Let me drink some water. Because as Vadim says, we need to stay hydrated. Thank you very much, Zauher. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right, but my last name is hard to pronounce as well for most of the people. And yeah, so sorry, but thank you very much for good, kind words. Yes, so what's happening? Try to register views with the same name. Let's reload and we will check what's happening. Okay, so but as you can see, this navigation container really messed up everything for us. It actually messed up our background color. It has unnecessary home header, and we don't like that at all, right? So what we can do, first things first, we need to hide this, because we will not need header almost anywhere in our application. There's only one place where we use header, and we also already implemented that. So in order to hide it, there's actually a very simple prop that we can pass in our navigation stack navigator, and which has, first of all, we need to say screen options equals open and pass an object. You can pass actually a lot of different options here, and we will not cover a lot of them, but most important ones we will. So let's say screen options and header shown false. Okay, as you see, it disappeared. That's good. Also, I don't think it's necessary anymore, but we also can say initial route name, which is going to be, okay, so what we will pass here, that means this is the route that we will render at the start of the application. By default, it will take the first one in the stack, but we can say, okay, we want to render this one on the start of the application. And now let's reload the application. And as you can see, it actually did just that. And if we change this to, let's say, home, let's save, let's reload, and it renders home. So this is a handy tool if you don't want to if you want to have nice structure here and you don't want to put this the first one, or you have some other use case where you need to specify the initial route name of the stack navigator. Okay, but as you can see, as I said, this is really messed up our styles quite a bit. And in order to solve that, let's go back to our app .js, and in navigation container, let's pass a theme, and a theme will be an object which will, let's say, which contains as well a lot of different stylings or yeah, that you can add to your navigation container. But we need to add simple only change the color of the background. So let's say colors, and here let's say background, and we will give the color that we use for our background. Let me add this. Let's save, and voila, we have our color that we had before. So okay, that's nice. We are done with our setup right now. Um, mm, uh, mm. Oh, nice, Durgesh. That's actually a really good way to learn to work alongside me. So yeah, that's really nice that you are starting it right now. And I think I already showed how to change the color back to our normal color that we used before. So let's continue. We are done with our setup, right? So what we need to do, actually, can somebody say if you see the code well, or should I zoom in a bit? Because yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I should zoom in at least a little bit. Let me know if it was okay before as well. Let's go back to our code. Okay, so what do we need to do here is to start actually navigating, right? And the first navigation that we need to do is go from here to the detailed page that we created previously, right? Because that's actually the only navigation that we have right now, and we can't just change route names, initial route names here in order to render what we need. We need to somehow connect everything. So in the coin item, which is this item, we need to wrap this whole thing in something pressable that, for example, I can click on and it will perform something if I click, right? So React Native has a lot of different ways to do that. They have touchable opacity, touchable highlight, touchable without feedback. But I think the easiest one is pressable. So actually, that's what we're gonna do. And instead of wrapping our whole container and everything that we have in coin item in view, let's wrap it in pressable. Let's close it with pressable. And it can contain styles, right? But also it has one more thing that performs an action after you click on what's inside, what's wrapped in this pressable, and we can call on press, and here pass a simple function that will do something when we press on it. So for now, let's console log it and let's say pressed, right? Let's format it a bit. So right now, if we click on anything in this coin item, because I wrapped everything in pressable, it should say console log pressed. Let's go to our console, click on this iPhone 11, and let's click on, let's say, Bitcoin, right? I press 2 times and it says pressed. Let me press one more time. It says pressed. You see, it's working. That means it's working. Okay, but when we press, we don't need to console log it. We need to actually go to the detailed page. But in order to do that, we need to use a use navigation hook from React Navigation. And you can only use this hook in functional components. So like this, but you cannot in class components. It's a bit different, but I don't think there's a lot of people who work with class components anymore. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's just from what I see around me. So correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, let's import that use navigation hook, and we need to import it from React Navigation Native. And right now, when we have imported this use navigation hook, let's do const and call our hook. Let's say navigation and use navigation. So right now, in order to access this use navigation hook, we can just say navigation. And in here, let's go on in our onPress method, we say navigation dot navigate, because we need to navigate to somewhere, and we can navigate anywhere in in this stack, right? So you remember I said why we need the names? Let's copy this name that we said for coin detail screen, and let's pass it here in parentheses. Let's save it. And right now, what happens if I click on this? I will go to this screen. That's really nice, right? Okay, but right now, first of all, I can't go back, so I need to reload the screen. But so actually, in order to make our flow better, let's make it so that you can go back as well. In order to do that, we need to go to coin detail screen in index. And we also need to import, again, use navigation hook, use navigation from React Navigation /native. In here, let's do the same const navigation equals use navigation. And right now we have this little icon. And if someone presses on it, we need to like go back. So there's a very simple way to go back. It would be really hard to say, okay, now navigate to navigation, navigate to home. Because imagine if I have something somehow nested and went really deep, and then I say, okay, I need to go back and check what's the name, then do paste the name there. And there's a really easy solution to just go back. So here's that icon that we created, right? Yes. It can also have onPress method. So let's pass a function which says navigation dot and simply go back. That's it. You don't need to do anything. It will know that, okay, the previous screen was that one. That means I need to go back there. And if I click on this icon, right now, let me check. Let me reload maybe. Did I added it in the right place? Navigation. Yeah, I think I did. For some reason, oh, it's the wrong icon. Okay, I added it to this icon, so I can click and go back. But we actually, if you remember, in a previous stream, we said it's better to build your application and screens like Lego blocks, right? To separate them in order to manage your application easier and to build it, to reuse some blocks that you used previously. And when we mentioned that, we actually, our header separated into a different Lego block or a different component, like we call. And in here, we simply have to do the same that we did there. So let's import use navigation hook from React Native Navigation, React Navigation Native. And on this back sharp icon, let's add onPress. Also, I forgot, const navigation equals use navigation, right? And in here, we simply pass let me close this one, pass a function that will navigation.go back. And now it will work, but we don't need to navigate back when someone presses on this, right? So let's just clean up and delete this, and also this. Let's save right now, and if we click here, I go back. If I click here, I go here, and then I can simply go back. Let me read real quick. Hello, guys. Hello. Love from Lithuania as well to you all. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah. So we have some navigation. Vadim, I'm not sure. Maybe he's in the chat, but he is not right now streaming with me because he's working on the course that he's preparing for you. So stay tuned and definitely join the waitlist of his premium full stack developer course. It will definitely help to get your career of software developer to the next level. So I showed you how to navigate between different screens, but now now we need to, okay, we can go to here, but we still see Bitcoin every time. It doesn't matter what I click, we go to Bitcoin every time. And we don't really want that, right? We need to make it somehow work it like it's supposed to, because I don't want to go here if I don't want to go to Bitcoin details if I press on Avalanche, right? So in order to do that, you can very easily pass props or parameters like to different components, right? Like I showed you in the previous stream. You can easily do that with navigation.navigate. The only thing you need to do is comma and pass an object. This we will call it coin ID, and just simply pass the ID from market coin ID, right? And that's it. That's how you need to pass it. But in order to receive it, there's a little bit. It's a bit different. It's not difficult or anything, but yeah, it's a little bit different. So let me quickly go here, and in order to do that, we need to use another hook called. I'll show you in a second. Coin detail screen called use route. So let's just import that. Import use route from as well React Navigation Native. And from this use route, we can easily get all the parameters that we pass in our navigation. But we also have to do the same with like const route equals use route, right? And right now, I'll show you how it works in order to get the coin ID that we just passed. But for now, let's just console log what is route, right? Let's save it. And when we navigate to here, we're console logging this route. And it's an object. It has different things. It has the key, the name of the screen that we are in right now, and also the path, but it's undefined right now, and also the parameters, which is an object of the things that we pass, like I showed you with navigation.navigate. And you can see in that object, we do have our coin ID that we just passed. So let's just get it. And in order to get it, let's destructure this route. Let's go and say route. And inside, you remember it was still inside a params object. So we also need to destructure it from that object as well. And let's, to test that it actually works, let's console log the coin ID. Okay, let's go back here and we see USD coin. We are getting the right. So, but let's test. For example, I go to Polkadot, right? And I have Polkadot ID. Perfect. It works. Yes. Let's continue. So now we get the ID, right? That's a good first step, but we still don't get any kind of data and anything. We just get the ID. And some of you might say, okay, so why we don't just pass the whole market coin object there and that's it, and we can display that data? And I would say, yes, that's possible to do, but that's not the best practice, because usually it's not that good to send big chunks of objects or big chunk of data with params. And yeah, so, and also it might be a little bit outdated information that might lead to other bugs. So we need to fetch everything to get the real-time data. And in order to do that, we will have to use Axios. Um, well, let's just do that. So let's go to actually React Native Axios, or to Expo Axios, because we're using Expo Snack. No, not here. I have actually a note added. I think it's simple Axios, to be honest. Yeah. So let's just go to our application and do yarn or npm install or yarn add and say Axios. Let's install it. Okay, we just installed it. And right now, let's close this. We don't need it anymore. And let's create another folder that will contain all of our API calls, right? Let's call this folder services. We'll probably have a lot of services, so we can call it services. And a new file, let's say, it's really hard to think of a name, right? Let's do requests, let's say, .js. And we will not use any JSX element here. That's why we can call it JS. And JSX elements, if you remember, are these view, chart provide, view, text, and all of these. We have this requests file, and okay, but what now? So in order to actually be able to access this, we need to, first of all, import Axios. That's very important because we will use it. And we need to create different functions for different requests. So right now we need const, and let's also, it's very important to export it because we will be importing it everywhere and we don't need a default export. So let's export const and call it get detailed coin data. And for now, it will also, it's important to make it asynchronous because the calls to CoinGecko API will be asynchronous. Right now, let's not pass any parameters. Let's do, let's do this. And in here, all Axios requests will be done in try catch in order to catch all the errors. Also here, let's do. But even if we catch our error, right now we're not going to handle it or anything. Let's just console log it, right? And in try, we need to make the actual request. So, okay, but where do we know where are we doing this request, right? To what URL? We need more information to know that. And in order to do that, let's go to CoinGecko and use their API that they provide. Let's go to CoinGecko, and they have a web application that's very similar to what we are trying to build. And they are very kind to provide a good cryptocurrency API with very good plans for practicing and building. So let's click Explore Docs. And here you see all the API calls that they actually provide to you. So it's really generous of them. And yeah, so, okay, we need to get the data about the coin, right? And it says here, okay, if we do coins.list, it says list all supported coins ID, name, and symbol. But we don't need a list of all. Here's again, list of all. And here, oh, that's something a little bit more interesting. It says get current data, name, price, market, including exchange tickers for a coin. Okay, that's something we do need, right? And if you click on it, you will expand it and you will have some more information, and you can even try it out. So let's click try out. Let's pass Bitcoin as an ID. We don't really need localized languages, so let's say false. Include tickers data. Okay, let's include it. Include market data. We do need that, but it's already default to true. But just for purpose, showcasing purposes, let's add it again. Include community data. We will not need this. And developer data as well. We don't need it because it's a lot of information for one API call either way. So we don't need that much. And 7 days data, we also don't need it right now. But if we later try to expand on this application, we can definitely make a good use of this. Really nice. Let's review. Okay, Bitcoin, we don't need localized languages. Include tickers data true, include market data true, and others false. And you can click execute here. And also let's choose response content type to application.json because that's what we need. And you can actually see the data that they give you, right? So it's ID Bitcoin, symbol BTC, and name Bitcoin. That's actually what we need, right? So it's really nice. And here you can see the request URL. So let's copy it. Go to our application back and do const response equals await, because we need to wait till till request finishes, right? And do take good use of Axios. Say get, because here we are getting information. So get, and simply paste the URL here. That's, yeah. Let me close this one. That's how you do the request. But it will return a lot of data, right? So we don't need all data. So let's do return response, and we need only the data about Bitcoin. But now, okay, so we think it will still always give our data about Bitcoin, right? Well, we can improve it. So when you're calling this function, let's always pass coin ID there also, in order for it to know on which ID I need to do a query. Let's change these quotes to the ones below the escape button. And also, let's read. Okay, API CoinGecko, API coins, and here Bitcoin. That's the ID. We don't need to always make it on Bitcoin. Therefore, let's do $, brackets, and we can insert here whatever we want, and it will make it as a string. So let's insert here coin ID. And now, when we call this function, we will pass coin ID on whichever, if you remember what we did previously, whichever we clicked, and it will do a request and get the data for that specific coin. Let's stay hydrated. Okay. That's that. Okay, I think we can try to test it out. And in order to do that, let's open our coin details screen, go to index, and here let's import that request. So let's do import from services/requests, and in here we can just say get, and it will already say, okay, maybe there's only one function that you exported. So actually that's what we needed. So that's good. And we import here get detailed coin data, the same as we called it here. So if we change name here to get detailed coin, Now this one won't work. So we need to say here as well then get detailed coin. But let's say get detailed coin data as, I don't know, I like it more. Okay, so now what? We have this function that we can call to, right? But how can we make good use of that? And let's, actually it's already imported. We will use useEffect hook. There's already a lot of data here, so let's clean up a little bit, and some of the data that are similar. Okay, we don't need to. Okay, it's a little bit better right now. It's easier to read. And okay, so we need to call a useEffect here, right? Hook. useEffect will be called every time we render the screen. You can pass here different parameter, probably parameters, and it will then be called only after it changes. So let's say here, we will create a function that will fetch coin data for us. Okay, but right now we need to create this fetch function. And let's do it outside useEffect. We can do it inside, but then also maybe we will need it to use somewhere else, right? So let's do it. Const fetch data, no, fetch coin data, and like that. And also it has to be asynchronous as well. So, okay, what now? Let's create another variable and call it fetch coin data equals, and now we do await and call this function that we imported. And let's say get detailed coin data. But if you remember, we need to pass the ID because it doesn't know just like that. Okay, so which coin do you need? What data do you need? And here's our from route parameter, the ID that we are passing. And let's pass there coin ID. Okay, right now we're doing the request, but we are not using this data anywhere, right? So in order to use it, we need to create another state, which will be called const. Let's call it coin simply, and set coin equals use state. And we talk a bit more about state in the previous tutorial. So if you want to learn more about it, you can watch that video. It's pretty helpful. And I see one more question. Where's Vadim? And he's working on the course, his premium course, and he asked me to help him out to do streams because he had one, like he needed to work more and he wanted to release his course as soon as possible to you guys. So he decided that he needs to invest even more time in order to make it really good, and that's what he's doing. So you should join the waitlist of that course. But then he had a choice, like not to stream at all or ask for somebody. So, and I was really glad that he suggested because I enjoy working with you guys. So thank you very much for kind words. And let's continue. Oh, Arin, thank you very much for the donation. Whoa. Let's continue. Yeah, so we created the state, right? And let's set, after we fetch this data, we need to do something with it. So we can simply say set coin and pass this fetched coin data. And now it will set. But we also need to make it, need to make our, somehow to show that, okay, it's still loading. So while this await, because the data is really big, it will probably go to render everything too quickly, and we will not have the data needed to show everything, and that's why it will crash. So we will need something that will check if it's loading. So let's create another state called loading. Say set loading, and now we will, with this little state, we will always know whether it's loading or not. And also, I forgot, in this useState, let's make a default null. And for loading, let's actually make default false, because we don't need it at first to be loading, right? We will set it when it's loading and when it's not. And then if we go, where is fetch coin data? Here, right? So in here, we can say that before everything, we set loading to true, because we are starting our fetch. And after everything finishes, we can set, or not set, loading to false, because okay, I'm not adding these because it ended everything, right? But we still need to have one more thing and have a check. So let's go maybe a bit lower, somewhere here, and say if it's loading, or I don't have coin, no, not this, and if I don't have this coin data, right, that means it is still loading. So, but in order, okay, then how can we show that it's loading? Well, React Native has a really nice thing called activity indicator, which is a little loading icon that will help you to easily indicate that, okay, it's still loading, wait a little bit. And it has a prop, one that we will use, size, and we will make it large. All right, let me close this. Yeah, so right now, if it's loading, or if coin data is still not there, that means we are going to return this activity indicator. Otherwise, we will return that everything that's below. And so there is one more thing. For our chart, we need to fetch data separately. And I think it makes a lot of sense from CoinGecko perspective, because what if we will want to make charts with, for example, that you can fetch data on different time frames, for 1 day, for 1 hour, for 7 days? That wouldn't make sense to refetch the whole data about the currency every time. So they created another request which only fetches data about that. And but should I show you that if everything works, or did I made a mistake with useState? useState. So this, I'm not sure, Zauhir, what do you mean? Do you want me to expand on useState, or did I made a mistake somewhere? So for now, I'll continue, but later, yeah. So let's do another. So now let's do another query. So another function, export const get. How will we call it? Calling things is not my favorite thing. If you remember from the last stream, get coin market chart. I think that's gonna be good. We will also make it asynchronous, and in here we also need coin ID for it to know. Okay, so which market data do you want for which coin, right? And it's very similar also in try catch. Let's console.log e, but in order to do that, we have to add here e. And in here, let's do another request. So response, response, here it is. Oh, wait, Axios.get, because again, it's a get. And let's go to their API to check, okay, so what do we need? And get coin tickers, no. Historical data, maybe, but it is for a given date. So it's as well 50-50. And here, get historical market data, include price, market cap, and volume, granularity automatic, which is what we need, right? So let's try it out. Let's say Bitcoin. Bitcoin. We here you can select in which currency you want to see it. So whichever you like or whichever you use, you can use here. But I'll use USD. And here you select data. So for example, if I say 1, it will get me the data from the previous day. If I say 2, from the day before, right? So we will say 1, and interval, let's say hourly. We need data of for every hour, how Bitcoin price changed. Let's do execute, and here we are. We see all of the data that we need here, and we even see more. We see market caps. We see also total volumes, but we will not use those. We will only use prices. Okay, let's copy this request again. Let's go here, paste it in, and let's find again. Okay, so here's the ID. Let's do the same change like that, and coin ID. Here we have another request, but okay, let's delete this. No, but we also need to return it. So return response data. Return the data that we just fetched, right? And right now we will do almost the same flow as we did before. First of all, let's create another state for coin market chart. No, coin market data. Maybe this one. Set coin market data. Now it will be null, but later on we will check. Now let's go into our fetch coin data. And actually, every time we fetch coin data, we do need to fetch the market as well data. So fetched coin market data equals wait. And if you remember, we forgot to import that function. So get coin market chart. And let's go back to our fetch coin data. And let's say await get coin market chart. And we also need to pass coin ID. Let's drink some water. But we also need to, don't forget to set it. So set coin market data to our state and fetched coin data. Nope, I made a mistake. So fetched coin market data. I think this is correct. And did I forget something? Also here, we need to check, or if we don't have any coin market data. So either if it's loading, or we don't have coin, or we don't have coin market data, then we will display loading icon. But immediately after we get coin and coin market data, it will set loading to false, and then we will be able to return our normal data. So let's save and try. Probably something will not work, but we'll see. So let's click first of all on Bitcoin. Okay, we do get Bitcoin, but we were getting that before, right? Let's go back. Let's go to Cardano. we are still getting Bitcoin. And okay, so I know why. Because we have this, so we don't really need to use it anymore from coin, the dummy data that we had, right? So let's delete it. And right now, after fetching everything and getting everything, we can set everything from, instead of from that coin that we had previously from dummy data, set it from a normal data. But let's just check if all data, okay, coin ID, which is here, that's good. We need image, we need name, we need, so prices will not be here anymore, right? So we need to do const prices. And as you remember, we did a separate call for coin market data. So now this will return us prices every time. We need symbol, I think. We need market cap rank, we current price, and okay, let's test right now. Ethereum. Undefined is not an object, evaluating current price.usd. So current price. Let me see what's the problem with current price. Let's console.log. Oh, it's because we have this one here. We need to have it above, because it doesn't know about that, this percentage color, right? Let's try again. And undefined is not an object, evaluating. Probably I'm calling something differently. So console log. Actually, the easiest way would be to go to here and check the naming. I think it's this one, right? Why it's not opening? No, not this one, this one. Why it's not opening? Let's reload it. Okay, and it opened then. Coins ID. Okay, let's try it out. So Bitcoin, and we can add all the data. We just need to see how everything is called. Right, localization, description. Oh wow, that's a lot. No, we should set this one to false. Okay, true. This one false, this one false, and this one false. And let's execute it again. Market. Okay, so we have this, and then market data, current price. So what's the problem? Let's see where we use current price, right? Is it? Maybe I should have that check. Let's. Okay. We use current price in a lot of places, to be honest. But why? Let's say, yeah, just console log coin. Maybe we don't even have the data that we need. Let's go to our console. Let's delete it. Go back, press on Ethereum and see. What does it say? Undefined is not an object, current price, undefined. Okay. That means, okay, we have this one here. This might be the problem as well. So let's take this and put it up top. Okay, let's see right now. Okay, now it's better. Now we're getting somewhere. It says that coin image, and we actually don't have coin image. Why we have image somewhere? Um, okay, let's see here. Coin image small. That should be right. And that's how debugging works. We check. Okay, so we use here. mm, mm, mm. First of all, we should return that one. Let me check. Okay, so let's put this one. Okay, let's rearrange some things a little bit and have this check a little bit higher, but then we need to make to put loading these three as well higher, and let's check if it will change anything. No, coin image is still undefined. What if I say loading to true set it at first? Where do we use that coin image? It should be here. Oh, now I get that. So we're trying to use it before it doesn't know what is this coin. So that's that coin. So that means we need to put these two up top here. And this one, well, later we can change it somehow. Okay, the application, let's reload it. For some reason, I'm not able to press on anything. So that's strange. Let's put it back here. Let's close the application and open it from scratch. Okay. Okay, now it works. Oh, Ethereum coin image is still. Okay, let's see what you need to move const current price to above. You just need image dot small. That's how I'm destructuring it. This one wouldn't matter that much. Yeah. Let me quickly check again. So what if I okay, what if I put this one, everything after this one? Because then I will only fetch, okay, yes, now let's put that one as well. And I think this one should fix it. Current price USD. What's the problem now? Now the problem is that we have this current price USD here, which we need to have below. So let's delete this const and let's add them below. Let's save it. Test again. Current price USD. It's here again. So we need to move these two probably as well below. Oh, okay, let's save it. Let's go. Rendered more hooks than doing it. Okay, so now we are getting somewhere for sure. Let me see why we're rendering more hooks. Okay, useState, we need that. We need this one for sure. We need these two. We need loading, fetch coin data, set coin data here, set coin market cap data here as well, set loading. Okay, we can have it as false. So we're setting to true, then to false, set coin, fetch coin data. useEffect, I am importing it. Let me, it's interesting. Coin value is not, okay, so what if I do here 1 and here, let's say 2, or as well 1, and it's not working again. Rendered more hooks than the previous state. That's, and it's because of, that's interesting. useState, coin, set coin value, coin value. Oh, okay, so it's happening because I don't return this one. So because during the first render, when it goes, checks here, okay, if it's loading, I don't render these 2 hooks useState, right? But during the next one, when I actually pass this, I render 2 more extra hooks, and you cannot do that. You need to, you cannot render more or less hooks during the previous, during your current render compared to the previous. So let's think, how can we fix it? How can we move this without using this current price? That's interesting. So what we can do? So we can definitely move this one above easily. Coin value, okay, and that's good. Now this one, because we need this current price USD, right? And we can only get it from this coin. So, but we have to move it up no matter. Let's just try if that's the case, actually. Let's say 2. Yes, that's the case. Finally, we solved it. I will go through everything and explain everything, why it was happening and how to fix it. But yeah, during the programming, that always happens. Sometimes you don't know, like at first, okay, why it's crashing. And sometimes it takes less time, sometimes it takes more time to solve it, but it's usually possible, like thinking, okay, why? Let's think about the flow. What happens right now? Why it's not happening? So, but this is really important to solve because USD value has to be the current price. And how do we get, the only way I can, like right now, quickly think of is in this fetch coin data. After setting all of these, we can set also this one. So at first, have it as empty string, right? And after we fetch this, we say set USD value, and then say fetch coin data dot current price dot, I think it should be market, right? Yeah, first of all, market data. Let's just test if it would work. Then current price, and not like that, just like that. And then dot USD. Let's see. Promise unhandled. Okay, let's reload the application. I'm not sure if this is, let me read what it says here. Okay, so this is not an object. Let's console log what actually it returns. Fetched coin data. Let's go here. And it returns a lot of things. So here we have, where is market data? It doesn't display everything, right? Yeah, truncated to the first 1000, but we can check it here. Market data, current price, USD. Well, it should work. Okay, if I say the market data, will it show me more? Yes, it does show me more. And let's all-time high percentage, all-time high date. Is current price? Yeah, it should be in market data. Quite straight away, but let's see, all-time high percentage, all-time high date, all-time high. And as well truncated. So let's say current price. Hey, it still shows it. And do I have USD? Yes, it's here. Did I type it incorrectly? Nope, I didn't. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I had a typo as someone says. So yeah, thank you. And let's do set USD value or coin. Yeah, set USD value. Okay, let's re-render everything. And Solana failed, invalid. We already had. Oh, because I need to make it also to string. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, now it does work. So let's make a short break. I will come back after a break, and then I will show you and first of all explain why it wasn't working, and then show you how we changed it. But as you can see, it does work right now. So if we press on, let's say, Dogecoin, we can see Dogecoin information, Dogecoin chart that we can traverse to. We can go, let's say, to Binance Coin. We as well see Binance Coin information, and we can see how the price changed. Wow, that was a dump at the end. So it is working. This part is very correct, right? Wow, a lot of dumps at the end of the day. So yeah, let's take a short break and we'll come back with an explanation. Hello, guys. I'm back. So let's continue. And yeah, first of all, let's explain why it wasn't working. So it wasn't working because we were trying to get all the data and destructure all the data before we actually had it, right? So that's why we needed to have this if statement before this can before this the whole destructuring, right? Because it was getting here and said at first I wasn't like there wasn't no data fetched yet, and it was thinking, okay, I this coin is empty, I don't have any the data in there, so how can I take current price for you? And unfortunately he cannot. So that's why you have to have this check before, right? And later on we had problems. Okay, we had that check, but now this USD value, right? It wasn't working because I was setting the default value was set to something that's still not there, because my check is actually only after it. So there's no way to do it, right? And now that I think, what if I would try and do like not instead of having it here, right? Um, what if I would have it under this? Not set, but this one, right? Uh, Initialize them after we have all the data. So paste it. This one was 1, and this one was something very long. Current price dot. No, why this typo is always here? Current price dot USD dot to string, right? So let me test. Let's go Dogecoin and render. Oh, yeah. So that was the other problem. So if we use these after, right, we were getting render more hooks than on the previous one, and you cannot do that. You have to on each re-render and render use the same amount of hooks that you used before. So there are some exceptions, but they're very rarely used. And so for this, let's not do that and have it just like that. So right now I, I'm not sure if you get what was the problem, but if not, let me know and I will try to explain it a little bit more. But to put it in short, we were trying to get data a lot sooner than we had it. That's why, because these requests take some time. It's not happening instantly. So yeah, that's why we were checking for all of this, but we were checking too late. We were checking actually here, which is not good, right? But now that everything is working, and if we don't have any questions, we can move on forward with because yeah, as we can see, everything here is working perfectly. We can implement bottom tab navigator, and to be honest, you use bottom tab navigators very, very often. Almost all of the applications use it, or well, yeah, I think almost all of them. And also, it's really, really good to know about it. So let's just showcase you how to do that. And yep, let's go to navigation. And first of all, as always, go React navigation bottom tab navigator. Go to their documentation. That's the best way to do anything when you use something new. And first of all, we need to add another library. So let's just do that. Yarn add. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when you live stream, you will get these kind of problems where you have to debug on the spot. And yeah, you see how the debugging works, which is also like probably good and to see how it works and to know, okay, what should I do? How should I test? And things like that. Okay, we installed it. And right now, what we need to do is, here's a simple example of how it's used. So we need to import this create bottom tab navigator from React Navigation bottom tabs, very similarly like we did here, right? Very similar. But let's do it a little bit cleaner. So let's create another file called bottom. Should it be, now that I'm thinking, should it be uppercase or lowercase? But I think let's make it uppercase. Bottom, let's rename it. Bottom tab navigator.jsx. Okay, so first of all, let's as always import React from React, right? And let's see. Okay, we need to import this. Let's copy, paste. Now let's do const initialize our functional class, functional component, bottom tab navigator. Let's do this, close it, export default, bottom tab navigator. And in here, let's return, for now, maybe nothing. Let's go to their documentation and see, okay, we need to create this, very similar to the stack. Let's just do that. Let's do it outside like that. Okay, and it's, wow, it's almost the same. Just copy everything and you see, okay, it's wrapped in a tab navigator, so it has its own stack, and tab will have as many screens as you would like, right? But yeah, so let's delete these because they're definitely not the same as ours. And now let's add our screens. So first of all, first screen of ours on the bottom tab navigator will be home screen. You need to access home screen easily, right? And now that I'm thinking, should I spoil you the second one right away? Or actually, I think you already know it. I already told you. So, but let's deal with home screen at first. And component equals, let's import home screen from screens. Let's pass component as a home screen so it would know what to render when we call this. And the second one, actually, we don't have it yet, so let's leave it like that. Okay, we have this, but we don't see any changes here, right? And yes, you are right. And in order to see those changes, we need to go back to our stack navigator. So to the navigator of our screens, right? And because we are already importing home here, we don't need to really duplicate ourselves. So we can easily, instead of rendering home, we can import our bottom tab navigator from here. So we are importing this whole function. And instead of passing a screen like we used to do for a component, right? Let's pass that bottom tab navigator so it will stack. So right now when you import this, it will render everything that's in here, like all the screens that you will add later. Okay, but let's not call it home because we already call it home here, and that's not good. Let's call it our root folder. I think that's pretty common to call it root, and our initial route name will be root as well. Okay, so now we rendered and probably you can't really see here, but it appeared here, little icon, and here, header. And as we said, we don't want headers. And previously on React version 5, if I remember correctly, you weren't by default getting these headers for tab navigators. So you had to do some kind of workaround, wrapping it in stack, and which was very annoying. Right now it's helping, but we don't really need it. So in order to actually hide it, let's actually also do screen options equals open the object and say first things first, header shown false. Save it. And I think I made a mistake. No, oh yeah, why I'm passing false as a string? False, and voila, it disappeared. Let's see. A very good explanation. Looking forward to the course. For the course. Thank you, Manuel, and I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you for kind words. Yes. So right now the header disappeared, but we don't really see our icons on the bottom, right? So we need to set our tab bar I'm probably gonna mess up the name, active tint color to white. Yes, I did. Color, not color. Yes, that's good. We already see our active screen, but we also need to change the color for our tab bar in active tint color. And let's make it gray maybe for now, because we don't really see how it looks. So later we will be able to change. And let's make the background a little bit different, because we don't really see our bottom navigator at all. So let's do tab bar style and open. It can take multiple styles, but the only one that we need to pass is background color. And I have a note my background color, which is 181818. Let's save it. And it changed a little bit. You can play around with the color, whatever you want by changing here. I can pass blue, and yeah, it will show you here. But we only need, we will for now keep this one. I think this one will be okay. Right. Okay, now we don't really have an icon here, and we need to add an icon here. So let's go to Expo vector icons. Let's open, oh, no, not this one. Let's open their icons and find something for home. Okay, now which one do I like here? I think this one should work quite well, hopefully. Yeah, let's copy the first one. Let's import that. And you see how easy it is to use icons in Expo. And let's copy the render method. Okay, but now how do we render it? So every screen can also take in another parameter called options, which we can open and also pass multiple things. But what we need is to render tab bar icon. And this is waiting for a function. So let's create a function, and let's return simply this one. And as far as you can see, our icon there is black, but let's change the color to blue for now. Yeah, I'm not sure why blue, but yeah, as you can see, an icon is there. First of all, let's definitely make it bigger. So let's make it 30. Yep, I like it a bit more. And when you call this, you can also take the, first of all, focus. So it will know if this screen is focused right now. Focus means open. So if you have more bottom tabs and you click on another, then this home will become unfocused and the other one focused. So we'll check for focus, and let's make size based on focus. So if it's focused, that means if it's open, it should be 30 the size. Otherwise, let's make it 25. Okay, that's good. And now Now. Also, you can take from here color, right? So this color will take active. Let's quickly pass this here in color. Let's just pass color, right? And this will simply take the active or inactive color that you set here, right? So it knows which color it is right now is set. Okay, I think we are building something better. But right now, so in order to test if it actually works, but this screen will be focused all the time. So you see how this one is implemented, and it's easy to like make some changes to however you want, following their documentation. And for now, let's. Oh, also, first of all, let's clean it up by on MacBooks by pressing Option, Shift, and F, and then let's go here, and not here, here, and say initial route name, which should be not an object but string home. Yep, we don't really need to pass this because it knows that this one is first, but I'm used to passing it, and yeah, that's why I'm doing it. Probably it's not very important, but I can't tell. There, it might lead to some bugs later on. So yeah. Okay, so our bottom navigation is set, but we still need like another screen to that we can go to, right? And in order to do that, we will implement another screen that I talked at the start called wishlist. So basically, you will be able watch list. I mean, you will be able to add any cryptocurrency to your watch list because you see how big this whole list is, right? And it would be impossible if you want to go, let's say, to the last one, not to the last one, but somewhere in the middle. It would be hard every time to go and scroll, to go and scroll. So you'll be able to add certain cryptocurrencies to your watch list and just go there and see how they are performing. And in order to do that, first of all, let's open screens. Let's create another folder called watch list screen. And in here, let's have an index.jsx. And here, simply, as always, initialize everything, importing React from React. And then to test, let's import view and text from React Native. And then let's const watch list screen equals like that. Export default watch list screen, and in here let's return. For now, in order to test that we're rendering what we need, let's just return simple view with text saying hello watch list, and also make it white because we won't be able to see it otherwise. Just like that. Okay, so we have the screen, but we also need to add it in our bottom tab navigator because that's how we are going to navigate there, right? So let's import a watch list screen from screens/watchlist screen. Okay, and now we need to add another tab screen simply by doing tab dot screen and closing it. And also we need to also pass some data there, right? If you remember correctly. Oh, sorry. which is name, and the name will be watch list. Then we need to pass the component, right? That we just imported here. So we can just copy it and say paste it. Okay, and also we need to add some options, so we can copy almost everything here, but let's find another icon called something with a star. Not start, a star. Which one? I think I like this one. Let's import font awesome. And because we already imported one icon, we don't need to import everything. We can just import the name here. Oh, no, 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 no. And let's import all of this. Let's paste it under our watch list. Name star size will be the same, so we can just copy paste here how size is determined, and color will also be determined exactly the same. So let's save it, and voila, we have two watch lists, two tab menu screens, and one, as you can see, this one is rendered as bright white because it's active right now, and it's bigger because it's active. If you click on this watch list, now this one becomes bigger and white, and this one right now it's not active because this one. And as far as we can see, it says hello watch list. That's good, but actually I've noticed one thing that we missed. Because right now we have our whole home as dummy data, and we forgot, I forgot to make it to fetch that data, right? So we need to do that right now. And also during this part, you will learn something new, probably not new, maybe new, but something called pagination. Because it's really bad practice to just fetch all the data. Imagine fetching more than 100,000 different coins and having them like that. I'm not sure even how long will you have to wait, or even if that's first of all, in CoinGecko that's not possible. Second of all, it's a really bad practice because it will slow down your application performance, and we don't really need to show, because we are showing here how, I'm not sure, like 10 different coins. So we don't need to render 100,000 of them, right? If we're not scrolling down. And what we will do, so if you scroll down, it will fetch more and add a second batch of the coins to the back of the list. And when you scroll down more, and you can scroll your whole 100,000 coins, but you won't be like rendering everything at one. Yes, I can. Let's go here. Here is my app.js. Yeah. So let's continue. Okay. Now, so bottom tab navigator is done. That's it. Let's close it, and watch list, we will get back here, and let's go and start working with our, is everything good in index, right? I'm importing, I think it's, yeah, everything is ready here for the further development. Okay, so now let's close it. And also, quick thing, I'm not sure why I'm doing this with object here. You can simply pass a simple string and it will work just as well. So yeah, I can go to detail screen, everything is working. So probably we can do that to make it look a little bit cleaner. Yes, voila, it's better. And this one is working as well. So let's close this one as well, and open our home screen where we have the list of coins. This file will expand a little bit. And let's also open our services and requests. Okay, So we need to create another request, and let's call it, first of all, export const and call it get market data. Let's do it. Oh, I forgot async. It should be. Okay, and then like that. And also let's do try and catch and like that. Okay, and here as well, let's just console log. Right now, let's not handle any errors because I know that that's not going to happen right now. But yeah, you should probably handle your errors if you're making an application to production. Well, not necessary to be honest, but yeah. Okay, what's now? We have our get market data, but we need to create, as you remember, const response equals await, and it's again going to be get. And let's see CoinGecko documentation. How can we get the list of coins? So I would think that this is what we need. List all supported coins, ID, mate symbol, no pagination required. So this will require everything. This will return everything, but it will return a lot less data than we need. This one lists all supported coins, coins price, market cap, volume, and market related data. Well, that's something that we need. Let's click try out. Let's also do for USD. We don't need to pass any IDs here, no filters, market cap descending. Let's select instead of 100 because that's quite a lot of items and we don't need to render that much. Let's select 50 and page through results 1. We don't need Sparkline data, and let's have price 1 hour. No, not 1 hour, 24-hour price change percentage. And let's execute it. Here we have all of our data that we need, and let's copy this request URL. Let's paste it in our URL. And also, you can see, maybe we'll get back there later. First of all, let's do return data dot, no, response dot data. Yeah, let's save it. Okay, now let's go to our home home screen, and let's see. Yeah, I'm using version 6 of React Navigator, and I'm not exactly sure what do you mean is the best in this case to use React Query. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe because yeah, Axios, if you're talking about this, works like perfectly. Okay. Also, the application will be on GitHub after the stream. So if you have some problems, you can just check everything out there easily. What else? What else? So, okay, let's go to our home screen now, right? And first of all, we will definitely going to use useEffect because we will want to fetch our data like on the previous ones when we load the screen. Yep, and also use state because that's how we are gonna manipulate our data. Maybe let's call it like that. And okay, so let's initialize our states. So first of all, coins set coins equals use state, and by default it will be just an empty array. Oh, sorry. Okay, then the second, we also, if you remember, we need to determine if it's fetching data or no, or finished. So that's why we have loading and have use state, and it initially will be false. Let's add these at the end. Okay, that's already good. So let's create our use if effect, right, to fetch the data. at the start, and let's do it with empty dependencies. Yeah, and let's call it fetch coins. Let's call the function, I mean. But now we don't have that function, so we need to create that function, right? Const fetch coins, so just like that. And also this needs to be asynchronous as well. Sync. That's good. So now what we are gonna do before set loading to true, right? Then, and actually we can already set loading to false after we do everything, right? So, okay, what are the steps for fetching all the data? So if you remember, we need to import everything from like that, where it's services, right? Slash request, and we need to get market data. I think it's called market data, right? Yeah, get market data. Okay, let's save it. And in here, let's do const coins data equals await get market data, and simply after we get it, we can set coins data, right? Okay, so now we will be able to fetch our coins and to set it, but right now we are not really using it at all, right? So first thing to do would be to change here, instead of dummy data, to pass actual coins that we just fetched from the CoinGecko API, right? And for now, we can also, yeah, no, for now, let's save it. And you can see it changed, right? It changed the data, and we're getting 50 original data, 50 coins that with the prices that they have right now. And yeah, so that's already good, right? But we still, okay, how do we refresh the list, right? We can, usually when you drag on the list, it should refresh itself. But right now we cannot yet, are not doing that, right? So also by default, the refresh icon is black, which means we will not be able to see. In order to go around it, let's import the refresh control here from React Native. Go to our flat list and refresh control equals, and let's pass this refresh control component, which needs some data. So it expects data like refreshing, and it means like when is it refreshing. So when loading is true, that means it's refreshing. Okay, what else? We need to change our tint color, and we need to change it to simple plain white. Okay, so let's save it. And right now, as you saw, we have this, we had that one and still have it, but it doesn't do anything. It's just simple animation, right? Okay, but when we actually drag it down, it should refresh the data. So let's create another function called const refetch points, and for now these two functions will be actually completely the same. But later on, I'll show you why we're separating them. And just say on refresh equals, and on refresh, let's call refetch coins function. Simple as that. And why? And oh, because we are not, this function is not synced, right? So right now, if we drag down, it will fetch our coins and update the values. But it will update only as often as CoinGecko is updating, because we're using their API, right? So yeah, That's that. Okay, we know how to refetch coins, but why are these so similar, right? And you remember I told you if I scroll right now to the bottom, I'm getting only 50, first 50 coins. But what if I want to see the last coin? Well, I'm probably not going to scroll during the stream to the last coin, but let me check the coins. I see a lot of comments. Super 8 BP, thank you for fire emojis. Pavel Ivanov, thank you very much for kind words. Why 720p? Actually, it shouldn't be 720p. It should be 1080, I think. I should check it out after the stream, or Vadim maybe will have to check it out. That's very strange. Sharias, hey, they're coming back to this channel after a while. Who is Lucas? So I am basically helping Vadim's friend, Vadim's previous colleague, and we worked as teachers in our university. We were teaching programming to students, and also we're still good friends. So he asked me to do. Basically, he only suggested, and if I wanted to do live streams, because while he's working on the paid course that he's creating for full stack developers, React Native, which again, I will repeat myself, I would highly suggest to join the waitlist while he's working. And he wanted to take more days to work on it in order to release it faster for you guys. So definitely join the waitlist and get your React Native skills to the next level. So yeah, and he had to make a decision either to suggest someone to stream during Fridays or not to stream at all. So I'm not sure if it's better for you to have a stream but not from Vadim, or not to have it all. But yeah, for now, this is what's happening. We'll see how you guys react, and then based on that, we'll decide if I should be creating tutorials or not. Do you have any paid course? Can you give me a link of course? Actually, you can go to here. Let me quickly show you. Yeah, here, academy.notjust.dev, and you will be able to join the waitlist of the course that I am talking about right now, that Vadim is working on really hard. So yeah, I think this will cover everything that's important for being a good React Native developer. So give it a shot. And great job. Awesome project, guys. Thank you, Cactus Sports Park, very much for your kind words and for the support. It definitely means a lot to me and us. Yeah, so let's go back to the application and where we left off. Okay, yeah, so we can get only 50 items, right? But we need to fetch more. So in order to do that, we need to implement here something like page number, because as far as you can see in here, if we pass here 2, it will get me the second batch of cryptocurrencies. 50, yeah, I hope you understand, like the 50 cryptocurrencies on the second page. Yeah. So we have page number, and by default, let's make it 1. So this way, if we don't provide anything for page number, that means it's 1, and it should be a 1. And in here, here, page, right? We see page equals 1. Let's, first of all, let's delete it and have it here, page number. Voila. That's already good. It doesn't change much because we just changed the request, but now we need to adjust our functions, right? So first of all, what's important is to do, and actually this tip came from Vadim. I wasn't used to doing that before, but yeah, it makes sense. And we're checking if it's loading in order to ensure that we are not sending multiple requests multiple times. And basically, Vadim said it really nicely, and I really liked it. We're saying to the application, be patient, wait till it returns the data, right? And let's do the same for refetch coins. Okay, that's that. So let's continue. Okay, but these still are not changing too much. So the only actually change that we will do here is with this. When we go to the last part, we need to, first of all, in here, in flat list, call a function on and reached. So when we reach the end, we need to say something. So in order to test if it works, let's console log and let's say end, right? Let's save it. And let's go like scroll from top to the end and let's see if it actually, yeah, you see it says end. That's good. That means it works. So when we reach the end, we will call this function fetch coins, but we will also call it with, so let's do that, fetch coins. And instead of console logging, we will call fetch coins, but we need to pass the number of page that we want to do, that we want to fetch, right? So how to do it nicely? And one way would be to divide coins, our coins length. So it will be, for now, it will be 50, right? So divided by the number of coins that we fetch per page, which is 50, and we can add 1. So if it will be 100, 100 divided by 50 will be 2, plus 1 will be 3. That means we need a third batch. If it's 50, 50 divided by 50 is 1, plus 1, that means we need a second batch. Okay, so that means fetch coins have to take a page number, and also somehow and also pass it to our get market data here, because as you remember, oh no, I shouldn't have saved yet, because as you remember, in our services we said here page number, and we set it here, and also we don't need to do here anything. We don't need to pass page number, because by default, if we don't provide anything, it will be 1, the first one, right? And that's what we want. When we refetch the coins, we want to only get the first 50 batch. And later you can scroll and then fetch on end reach. Okay, we will fetch right now coins, but we will still see those 50 ones all the time, and like adding them at the bottom all the time. We will not get the new ones because the it will override every time. You get what I mean? So right now you see the Bitcoin is not the first one is Clayton, which is 51, but because we fetched new data and set it as our coins, it overrides everything. We don't need that. We need to add them at the bottom of the list, right? So in order to do that, we can create a function here. Let's say existing coins. And actually, I wasn't doing this one either too often, but this will ensure that we don't get any bugs and that our data is up to date every time by having this function here. Okay, and we will return from here an array. I have an array, right? But in that array, we need to spread our existing coins that we are taking here, and these existing coins are basically the same as these coins, right? But in doing like so prevents some of the problems that might appear later on. Okay, so I hope you understand it. So if you are spreading and want to have data up to date, it's better to do that. Okay, what does these three dots mean? It means that we don't want to add to this array another. If we do this, that means that we are adding to one array, we are adding another array. So it would be the same if I would say, if I would have like this, then another one and another array, right? We don't want that. We want to add the values from that array to the values from existing coins array. So from this to the new, to spread them in order not to add a separate array. And also we want to add and spread as well coins data that we fetch, and we want to spread them at the bottom. Also, not added as a separate array, added as a only the items from that array. And this this would be the same probably if I would do something like let's say existing coins dot concat and just do coins data. That would be the same. But I'm not sure. Me and Vadim prefers this way because this is some ES6 and it's really, really nice. Okay, now we're adding those coins at the bottom. So it should work, right? Let's test it out. So let's wait, let's save the application. Let's reload it and test it, right? Okay, so at the start, we're getting 50 coins, right? I'm gonna do it fast so you would know, like, okay, so we are getting these 50 coins, but you see at the end, we are adding another coins. And if we scroll faster, we add another batch of coins. If we scroll faster, we add another batch. And that way you can go very, very long way without actually hindering your application performance and making it performant and well done. This is how you always load a lot of big chunks of lists and stuff like that. That's the best practice. Okay, but now if we go, so why do we have this one separately? This one is done separately because if we refresh the data, right, we want to have only first 50 batch refreshed. So if we go fast, no, I didn't manage to do it as fast. So let's refresh it and let's go fast. And you see it loaded, it loads quickly, but you see that it's reloading the data again. Okay, so I think I showed you everything here. And let me real quick check the chat. What's the price of the course? So yeah, Vadim just posted a link and you can join the waitlist. I think it's not out yet because that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm doing the streams, and Vadim is hardly working on that course because he wanted to invest full time on that to make it really good. And yeah, what else? What else? Yeah, if you want to build an application for iPhone, you need to have a MacBook. I think even with Expo. Actually, I don't use Windows. So Vadim is using Windows, and if he's here, he can probably let you know how we know when the list is finished. So the list will that it has, I think, 116,000 coins. And if you go to the last one, it will just return nothing. It will return a empty array. So you will not add anything at the bottom. And you could probably, I'm not sure, I didn't test it, but you could probably add a check saying like, if coins data is empty, don't add anything, because that probably means we reached the end of our list. Okay, let's continue. And what else? What else? Yeah, this is done. So now we can start working on wish list. Oh, watch list. Why do I call it wish list every time? It's watch list. And during this part, we will introduce new two new things, to be honest. So let's really quickly go back through this. And navigation, done. Fetching data with Axios, done. Bottom tab navigation menu, done. And now watch list. So, but in order, we already created a screen for watch list, right? And we wanted something very similar to this, maybe add a few changes, but very similar to this one. But in order to do that, we need to create a thing called context API, basically use. And what context API does, you might ask. So context API, as I explained at the start, is basically something that helps you to manage data throughout your whole application. So you can have and manage your data in one file, but access it from anywhere in the app and change it from anywhere in the app. This is you could use Redux as well, but I think Context API, Redux has a lot of boilerplate that is, in my opinion, is too big of a stretch and a bit of an overkill. So Context API, Redux has its own advantages for sure. But yeah, in our case, we will use Context API. So let's continue the stream. Okay, so what do we need for context? First of all, we will make it clean. So let's create another folder called contexts, right? And in this context folder, let's create a file called watchlist context.jsx. Okay. So what this should contain, first of all, easily import React from React, easy as this. And for now, we will also have to import use context because we're using context, right? Okay, this is good. So let's create const watch list provider, right? Let's quickly do this. Then we export default. Let me check if you guys don't have questions about. No, you don't. Okay, so we have this, and in here we need to return something. So this is going to be a little bit more advanced than everything probably we did before. So bear with me. I'll try to explain as much as I can. And also, if you will have any questions, you can easily ask anything. So one more thing that we need to import from React is create context, because we will have to create it, right? And let's do const which list context equals create context. Okay, we have the context name, right? But we need to return something here. So we need to return wish list context. So basically from this context that we created, dot provider, because this will provide us everything, right? So let's close it, open. And in here, let's, should I pass the values right now? Let's not pass it. And in this provider, we will just render here. So basically, we want to render our children. What I mean with our children is everything that's rendered in this provider, right? Oh, I didn't import children. And we will make that this wishlist context, wishlist provider, is parent of every other component that we use. And that way it will render all the children components, which is going to be basically our whole application. It's going to be its children component, and it's going to render it inside of it. So we could use the provided data. So you might ask, how do we provide the data? Well, with simple value. And we can pass whatever we want. We can say value and call it yay. You can add functions here. You can add objects, arrays, basically everything. And it will be, and everything in your application will be able to access it without passing as props from the top parent component to the bottom. This helps very much. And you'll see our case why it helps, right? Okay, we have it here, but right now it's not really wrapping anything. So what we need to do is go to our app.js, right? Again, and import here our provider. Import watchlist provider from source context watchlist context. Okay, we imported, and the only thing I'm gonna leave above. So let me first of all import, and I will explain you probably that way it will be easier. So as you remember, I was telling you about parent and children. So this, as you can see, watchlist provider has everything in our application as its children's. So that's what this means. It will render everything that's in here. If I put here only text, then it will render that text component as its children. And it's going to be a parent of every component in here. The only it has only one parent component itself, which is navigation container. So our navigation container has everything as its children, even watchlist provider. You see the hierarchy here. I hope you do understand it here. What about recoil? Is it better than Redux? I never used recoil. I know Vadim did a tutorial on it, and I remember him saying that it's better. He liked it better. There is even a blog on his website about how to use recoil, and I think it even mentions why he liked it. So you can give it a look. The website is notjust.dev, and yeah. Okay, so let's continue. But this, let's go back here, and yeah. So it will pass this yay value to everything in there. Now I'm thinking, should I show you how to get that value, or just work on the... Okay, let's show how to get this value somewhere, okay? So for example, I need this value in our watch list screen, right? And the only way I would be able to have it here is, for example, if I would pass the same prop from app.js to every, so from here to navigation, from navigation to detail screen, and then from detail screen, I would be able to take. That's a lot of steps, and data might, yeah, it might lead to a lot of bugs. So this context API will help us to prevent that, right? You might ask, okay, so but then how do I get all the data that I need here? And that's a good question. So first, very easy thing. What we can do is import. Let me say from. Oh, sorry. Oh, this. And we need to import. Let me show you. We need to import. First of all, export this, because we will have to import this wish list context everywhere. Actually, we won't need it because I'll show you a better way of doing it, but just, yeah, stay with me for now. Okay, what's the path to it? That's, but I think it's this, and then contexts. Why I'm not seeing them? And then watch list context. That, I don't need that. I think it's that. It's correct. And from here, we need to take this. Okay. So let's save it. And now, how can we get the data there? So one thing would be to go back here and actually, well, let me remember how to do it I don't want to say bad way, but the way that I don't like. I think it's here. Yeah, it's like that. So we also, in order to do that, we need to import from here again, use. I'm just showing like how it works, but not the best way. And that's why it's for me a little bit harder because I know how to use it the easier way. I'm not sure if it's the easier, but the right way. Let's say it like that. So we import this use context. We import this wish list context. So now what we can do is const and say something like wish list and then do use context because we are using that context and pass the context that we are using. That's so many steps. Okay, but let's try to and also as we are having here values passed, right? We can simply actually straight away the structure like we learned the value. So let's console that log. Why I'm not getting predictions anymore, I don't know, but it's a little bit annoying. Let's go here, and as you can see, it says yay. So we were able to get that data from here to such a deeply nested screen so easily. And this is usually used a lot. This is usually used in a lot bigger applications where you need that same data in multiple places and to access it easily. But now I will show you how to actually make it even easier and more readable. So you see that we have to import everywhere use context, also wish list context. That's a lot of things that we have to import and then also do this whole thing. So an easy way would be to, instead of exporting this wish list context, let's create our own hook. Let's do export const. Let's call, because all hooks are made with use, so use watch list. I will probably somewhere write wish list. Yes, I did. I called it here wish list. Should I change it or leave it? How did I call it in my app? Watch list. At least that is good. So let's do some changes. Why do I call it sometimes wish list? It's so watch list context. Yes. And now change here to watch list context. Yes. Now it won't work because I have here wish list. It should be. Okay. So yeah, we create this, right, as a function, which will simply return use context like we did there. And we pass the watch list context that we created that we already have, right? So instead of doing so many things, what we could do is actually remove this at all. We don't need it at all. Instead of this, import this one, import this use watch list here, our hook that we created. And instead of like creating the new use context and passing the watch list, we can simply do use watch list and destructure the value from there. And let me delete it to show you that it works just as well. Let's reload. Let's go as you can see, there's no data here. Let's go to watch list, and yay is printed. And you see how much easier and cleaner it is? We only need one import and one line. Everything is taken care of here. It looks a lot better. I think it's a better practice to do it this way. Okay, what is full stack? The course of what that Vadim is doing, it is full stack developer. Okay, so now we have this context. That's good already, but we don't really have any kind of data, right? For now, so we need to make our data easier to handle and actually to be able to handle it at all. So first things first, what we're gonna need is also state, because that's where we're going to store all of our watch list coins. Let's initialize the state, const watch list coin IDs. We are only going to store coin IDs. First of all, because we always want to get the most up-to-date data. And if we store them as an object, it will have outdated data very quickly, right? Because it will not update it every time. So we will set the IDs. And now we will set watch list coin IDs, right? Use state, and by default it will be an empty array. Okay, we have this one. What else? So right now we can just simply, instead of returning nonsense, return our watch list coin IDs. So basically this one, we return this here. Okay, that's good, but we also need to be able to store our IDs. And you remember I told you that we are going to use something called async storage. So async storage is, let's call it a very simplified database on your phone. That's like an easy explanation, but it will store the data on your phone and keep it as long as you don't delete the cache or delete the application from your phone. So it will always have it there. This is also, I wanted to showcase this async storage because it's kind of important to, for example, when you manage authentication, you can use it. Or when you need something like that you can access anywhere in the application, but it can be only stored on the phone cache, so you don't need to actually do all kind of queries to your backend. And yeah, this simplifies some of the things where you actually don't need to use backend and real database. So okay, we have these coins here. Now we need to install async storage. So let's do expo async storage. Go to here and easily install this into our application. Expo install React Native async storage / async storage. Let's do that. Okay. Okay, it installed. So now let's go back and see full documentation at sync storage. And here I can see the whole documentation and everything that I actually will need to use. How to import it. So you import it from React Native async storage / async storage. Let's copy it, go back, import it in here. And you can see where I'm going with this. I'm going to handle all the logic, everything in this one little file. And we will be able to manipulate that data and access the data from anywhere in the application. This is really powerful. Okay, we have this async storage here. What do we need now? So first of all, we probably need to be able to read the data from async storage. First thing, we are going to use useEffect hook to read the data when this is basically opened, or yeah. So let's do that. Use notState, useEffect, just like that, like that. And let's pass empty dependencies. Okay. And in this use effect, I'm just gonna, like always, get watch list data, not wish list, watch list. And now I need to create this function, get const get watch list data. Okay, we have this function. So we will also need to make this a synchronous function. And these whole requests to the async storage will be also wrapped in a try catch block, just like they show in their documentation. So reading data and try catch block. Let's do that. Try and also catch. And let's just console log that. Okay. And now in try block, what we will do is, so the thing is that you can only store, maybe I'll talk about it when we get to the storing. So first of all, let's just call JSON value equals await, and we will make a request, let's say, to async storage to get an item with the key. So we provide the key on which it will know, okay, which data do you want from async storage, because you can store a lot of data there. But let's say watch list coins, and later when we will be adding coins, I'll show you where we set this key name. Okay, we get them from there, but what now? What can we do with it, right? So we can simply set watch list coin IDs here. And we kind of probably, it's good to add a check. So if JSON value is not null, I mean, then we can parse JSON dot parse JSON value, otherwise return empty array. So what this parse does is, what I wanted to mention is that you can only store strings in async storage, right? So this parse will parse the string to to JSON basically object value that we need if the JSON value is not null. Otherwise, it will just add empty array to set watch list coins. And also, as you can see, they are showing you the same exact thing, like check JSON value. If it's not null, you can parse it. Otherwise, set it as null, but we don't need a null. We need to set it as empty array. Okay, and that's it for getting coins. But right now we have no coins, to be honest. So we will just get undefined, because first of all, it's not the value anymore, but it's watch list coin IDs called. So let's import that. But it will still show the same. It's an empty array. We don't have any values there. Okay. Now we need to be able to store those values there, right? So we need to create another function called, let's make it here, called const store watch list data. It will also be asynchronous. And yeah, so it will also be in a try catch for blocks. Okay. Okay. And in here, we will need to do something a little bit different, right? Because, okay, how do we know which coin to store? So in order to know that, we will accept an ID parameter of coins. So just like that, just with the structure from props that we receive here, ID. Or we can probably pass a simple, call it coin ID to make it easier to understand. Okay, so in order to add data to our sync storage, first of all, we need to initialize new watch list. And new watch list will be everything that we have here already. And you remember I already taught you about spread operator here. We spread every value in here. Instead of being an array itself, we just need to take the values from here. And also add the coin ID that we get from here. We add it at the end of the watch list. Okay, so we now have good data, but now how do I store that data, right? So we do const JSON value, and we also do equals JSON. And now, as you remember, again, I told you that we only can store strings to a sync storage. So we need to stringify our data. And first of all, give it a key, how you will name it. So you remember here, we will call it watchlist coins. So that's going to be their key. And the second parameter is the value that you want to store. So no, not this one. We will be storing our new watch list. Okay. So we are storing we're not storing yet. We're stringifying. And I'm getting ahead of myself, looking into that documentation that I could just show it to you. But yeah, while I'm looking at my documentation here. So this basically page, and to store data, first of all, we stringify, then we store. So first of all, I do reformat my new watch list how I need it. Then I stringify this watch list to JSON value. And then, as you can see here, I can do this to set it there in a sync storage. So in sync storage, set item instead of get item, we should pass the key. So watchlist coin key, and we pass the JSON value that we just stringified to here. And the last step that we need to do is just set watchlist coin IDs to our new watchlist that we created here. Simple as that. Okay, so we can also already pass our function store watchlist data. And maybe we should call it store watchlist coin. That will make more sense. No, I think it will. And maybe even coin ID will make even more sense because we're storing only the ID. And we should make our function names as easy to understand as possible, right? Okay, so we can store, we can get. What is the last thing we need to do? We need to we need to be able to remove the coins from our watch list. Okay, let's do that. Const remove store watch list coin ID. Why do I have store remove? Because I was reading here, remove store. Yep, okay, my tiredness is kicking in. Let's simply do this. remove watch list coin ID, right? And it needs to be asynchronous, as always. It needs to receive the coin ID that it needs to remove, right? Okay, thank you. Yeah, it needs to receive that. So, but what do we also need to create a new watch list, but we don't need to add it. We don't need to, how to remove it, right? That's the question. And the easiest way to remove it is take this watch list coins IDs, right? And here filter them. And first argument is the coin ID from the watchlist coin IDs. And let's just simply do a simple if statement. So if coin ID, now these values were coin ID value, let's say. So if coin ID value that we get from here is not equal to coin ID value that we get here, then it's all good. It passes our filter condition and it will be kept inside. If it does match, then it will not pass our filter condition and it will not be added to our new watch list, right? So now the same. We need to create our another coins JSON value equals JSON dot stringify, and we need to stringify our new watch list to make it a string, right? Okay, and now after we make it, we can check how to remove data. So in order to see more usage, we can go to API because they're showing only the simple usage, and we kind of want to see a bit more. So here's everything that you need. You can merge items, but yeah, here's what we need. We need to remove. Actually, we don't need to remove it. Now I'm thinking. You could remove, but you would be removing only the whole key. So we would remove the whole array that we stored watchlist coins, but we need to just update it. So it's actually completely the same as here. So we do this, and we then set it just like that. And I think I messed up the name. Yes, and what? New, yeah, watch list. And here. Okay, and now pass remove watchlist coin ID. So we have everything that we need in order to manipulate and get our data everywhere. We can get it, we can remove, we can edit. Everything is there, right? So let's drink some water. Okay. And now we need to make use of this data. And the first thing is where we will implement some changes is our watchlist screen. So right now it only renders simple text, and we needed to render the whole flat list. It's going to be actually very similar to home screen that we have. So we can even copy some data. But maybe I'll show you without copying how to do it. Maybe that would be better. So let's do flat list. Okay. And now instead of returning view, let's return a flat list. Okay, that's good. Now, what the flat list needs. So first required is data, and we will use this watchlist coin IDs from that we can get from our watchlist hook, use watchlist hook. Okay, and the second thing is, as you see here, is, and actually that one I'm gonna copy because it's going to be completely the same. We need to render item, and we need to render coin item. And again, Lego analogy here. So we are using this coin item from components that we created, and we created it on purpose in order to be able to use it easily access throughout the whole application. So let's import it at first. Let's import coin item from, okay, and hope it will show suggestions. Yet it's showing components, coin item. Perfect. And yeah, now it's rendering, but because this is empty, it doesn't have what to render there, right? And this is good for now because we need to implement a way to add the coins to our watch list. So let's go to detailed page. And you remember we, on the previous stream, we created in components our header, coin detailed header that has, let me show you, that has back, some values, and this little icon. So this icon should actually be a star. And we will go again to Expo icons. Vector should have been before, but okay. Let's have a star. And we think we used font awesome. So let's do the same here. And we already are importing some. So font awesome. Is it 5 or simple one? Simple. Font awesome. And copy this one. And where is it? So here, user. So first of all, let's paste it. Let's say white. Let's make it 30 like there, or not 60, 30 like here. And let's, okay, maybe 30 is a little bit too big. So let's make it 25. 25, yes, I think that's okay. But we also, now that I'm thinking, we need to have it. So let's have this yellow. Yellow should be when it's in your wish list already, but we need an empty one actually. And font awesome has star O. That's perfect. Let's have it for now, star O. And white. So we will make changes later on this, but for now we can easily. Okay, now I'm thinking, maybe I should take a short break before continuing, because after starting, I won't be able to. Like, I would have to work quite quite a bit, because there's going to be like adding, deleting, and then changing the icon and stuff. So I'm going to take a short break again, and I'll see you in few minutes. Thank you for watching, and Zohar, thank you very much for good words. I really appreciate that you enjoying it and you're still here. I think you were here at the start of the stream. Oh, maybe even the first one too. Wow, really appreciate it. You really want to no, learn, or but yeah, good job, really much. Okay, see you later, guys. I'm coming back, don't go anywhere. 1 minute. And I'm back. Okay, so Mr. Nine, hearts for you too. And let's continue where we left off. Okay, so we need to be able to add those. If everything is okay, I'm live. Yes, we need to be able to add cryptocurrencies to our watch list, because right now we can do everything, but there's no functionality for that yet. So in order to do that, we will have to implement some functions. So first of all, we're gonna have to open as well. So watchlist screen, we don't really need it right now. Watchlist context, as well, not really right now. So let's open coin details header component and coin details itself. And here in coin details header, we are passing only image, symbol, and market cap rank. We also need to pass coin ID, which is, do I destructure? No, which is, we need to take it from just simple ID. Where is it? Okay, and pass it as ID. What else do we need? Actually, that's it. We only need coin ID, if I think correctly, but we'll see. Okay, so that means we can take coin ID here, and now we can create a function that checks how the star should be displayed. So let's do that. Const check if coin is watch listed. Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's check if it is watch listed already. And in order to do, we are going to do a simple, very simple function. But for that function, we need to import here our context as well. And if you remember how to do it, it's very simple. We import, because we made it with a hook, we import use watch list from, and we do it from where is it? Context slash watch list context. That's it. And we can use this watch list just by simply what we need to get. Actually, I needed to leave this watch list context open. And yeah, we only need to get this, all the IDs that we are already stored. So simply like that equals use watch list. And what we will do is simply return watch list coin IDs dot sum. Sum checks if the condition matches some. So basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take coin ID value from watch list coin IDs, and then I'm going to check if that coin ID value is equal to the coin this coin ID. So that means to this coin that I'm open here, right? And we can simplify a little bit this function just by simply, we don't need to have brackets, return and closing brackets. We can simply do like that, which looks a lot nicer and cleaner, probably. Okay, we can check. So right now, what we will do, we will, in order to determine the name of the icon, we will call this function and say, if check if coin is watch listed, if it's true, then we will display, I don't remember the name, but it's just star because it's watch listed. So return star. Else it will be star. Oh, not star. Okay, so here you go. That's already good. But we also need to do the same for the color. So let's clean up a little bit everything in here by clicking on MacBook Option Shift F. and it really fixes everything and makes it nicer. So here's our icon that we were working on. We need to actually do the same thing on the color. So let's check. Oh, sorry. Let's check, and if it is watch listed, then it will be yellow, but I will try to find maybe a gold one. Otherwise, it's a simple white color. Right now it's watch list, but I don't like this yellow. So what I'm going to do is go to yellow hex colors and shades of yellow. Agree. Maybe something like this amber will work nicer, I think. So let's see. I think it's definitely a lot nicer. Let's leave it as amber. And if it is okay, what if it is so Bitcoin? No, it should be the other way around. So why is it returning true? Watch list coin ID sum if coin ID value equals to coin ID. And if it's true, then it should be a star. Wait. Yay, Lucas is back. Thank you, Vadim. Heart to you too. Love from India, love from Lithuania, guys. How are you able to work so hard? I am ultra lazy. Please give me some tips. Actually, it's sometimes really hard to make yourself work, but I always try to think about bigger goal. What will I achieve by doing this? So I'm not sure what's your end goal, for example, with your work, but of course, if I don't enjoy the work, it's going to be really hard to make myself do it. But that's just probably it's hard to give a tip or how to fix that. But if you're working on something that you're really enjoying doing it, and for example, you want to make a career out of programming in this case, that's what I think. I think about the bigger goal, and that's how I try to push myself saying, okay, if I don't work, then I'm not gonna reach anything, and then I'm just gonna be lazy. I don't sure if I can swear, so I'm just gonna I'm just gonna be very lazy and probably play games every day. And I don't want that to be my end goal. I want to achieve something a little bit more. So thinking, and I'm dedicated to do it. I'm dedicated to prove that I can achieve it. So that's why I'm probably finding motivation to work. And yeah, think about your end goal and think if you can reach it without working. Yeah, I think I think that's something. Oh. No, I thought I know, but now I don't really know. Why is coin ID? Let me console log everything. That's how we debug here, right? Coin ID, let's console log coin ID. Let's go here. Bitcoin, yes. So let's then console log watch list coin IDs empty. So some coin ID value. If this Okay, so if check watch listed, if it is watch listed, right, then it's amber. If it's not watch listed, then it should be white. Okay, let me then console log what this return. Console log check if watch listed. Oh, it should be, okay, it should be a function. Now it works. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit tired, and but yeah, let's not a lot left. Let's take our last energy and make it work before a nice Friday afternoon. Okay, so yeah, we are doing simple checks. If this coin ID is watch listed, that means we're displaying amber. Otherwise, we're displaying white. And the same for the icon. Okay, that's good. But now we need to also be able to store this, right? To store this ID of Bitcoin in this case. So let's copy this. Let's import it from our hook. And let's create a function that will be called on this icon press. So icons can take in as well on press parameter. So let's pass it a function, and we will call the function something like handle watch list coin. Is it okay? I think it's gonna be good, hopefully. But yeah, so as you remember, we can, if we don't pass any parameters, nothing, we can simply call it like that. And now we need to create this function. So in order to create it, let's do const. Let's do it like this. And in here, we will also have to check. So if check if icon is, it's a function, if it is watch listed, that means we need to remove it. But so also let's import remove watchlist coin ID, right? Here. So that means we need to remove it, which we will return remove watchlist coin ID, and we will simply pass the coin ID here. But if it's not watch listed, then we need to add it, right? So store watchlist coin ID, and let's do coin coin ID. Yes, that's already shaping up a little bit. So in order to test it, we're gonna get an error because we're trying to render this. Let's not try to render. We'll see what error will it throw. But right now, let's console log watch list coin IDs, and it should be empty. It is empty. Now let's go to Ethereum, let's say, add Ethereum. Missing keys for, okay, so it's, but you see the icon changed, so that means it's already good. And let's go back, and now let's go to our watch list, and it should be Ethereum is there. You see, everything is working perfectly. And if we go back to Ethereum, because it's stored locally, it is still here. Even if I, let's say, quit the app and go back to the app, and go to my Ethereum, it's still watch listed. But now if I click on it again, nothing happens because let's see why. Promise and handle the rejection. Remove watch list coin ID. Okay. What's wrong with the remove? Filter. Oh, because here, okay. So I made a mistake here with naming. It wasn't matching. So now it should work. Let's click it again, and it removed. So if I go back here, I have an empty array. No longer Ethereum is there. So everything is working here. That's already, oh yeah, you're even saying if function. It's best practice to use function inside if. Okay. Yeah, so we already are able to store, delete, and change or manipulate our context. And you see how powerful it is. I can easily access in a lot of different places the same data that I need. So that's why it's so powerful. But right now, okay, we're not really displaying anything here. So we need to be able to display the data here as well. And in order to, and the problem is that we're only storing the IDs. So we could easily display IDs here, right? But we need to display the actual normalized data. So in order to do that, we have to go to our watch list. So this one we don't need, this one we won't need as well. And yeah, so we can actually go back here and return the render item, but not save because it will crash right now. And here we will implement some more things. So first of all, what we need is, maybe I'll explain you how we'll approach this. So CoinGecko has a possibility to query the same data only on IDs that you have. So I can pass here, let's say, Bitcoin, Solana, and let's say Bitcoin and Solana. And I can execute it, and it won't return me everything, but it will only return me everything about Bitcoin and about Solana, the IDs that I provided. So that's what we are going to do. We will take the data from our sync storage and read what kind of IDs have and make another request to get the current data about these cryptocurrencies. And why are we doing like that and not storing simple objects to a sync storage? I already explained, but I'll repeat myself if there are new people. It's because the data will get outdated really fast. Because let's say we will store Bitcoin when its price is $47,000. But the next day it will be, let's say, $56,000. But we will still show in our watch list $47,000 because that's the value what we stored. We could probably update it on every open of the application, but in order to have the most consistent data every time, that's why we're doing here. Every time you enter this watch list, you will see current data. Okay, let's get to work. So first of all, we will need useState. Let's initialize the state. So let's call it coins, set coins, use state, and it will be an empty array by default. Put here as well. Okay, and as always, we will need some kind of indicator whether it's still loading the data or it already finished loading it, right? Okay, and by default, it will be false. That's good start. Now we also will use useEffect again in order to get the data when you open this screen. So let's do useEffect, and just like that, close the bracket. Okay, and in here, simple, we are following pretty much what we did quite a few times already. Fetch coins, and fetch coins. We will create a function for that, const fetch coins. Maybe let's make it fetch watch listed coins. That will make more sense. And as I remember, I told we should be as clear as possible with our naming. Okay, so now we have fetch, or what? I always make this mistake. Why watch list? Oh, okay, so we are, but we also need to implement the actual request. So we need another function that's gonna be called get watch listed coins. It is going to be asynchronous as always. We will need some data here, but let's wait a little bit. And also in a also need page number, because if we want to include the pagination later, we'll see. If I'm not sure if I'll make it in time, so maybe I'll leave pagination out, but it's basically the same process as we did for home. And pagination is, if you remember, is basically not loading everything on one batch, but loading on end reach new coins. Okay, so you will need page numbers if you do that, and then also the coin IDs. Okay, now let's, first of all, let's console log if there's some kind of error. And here, let's simply repeat const response equals Axios.get. And in here, we will go and take our request a URL. But right now, let's return response.data. Oh, well, response.data. And let's go and find, yes, here. Oh, actually, I think we can simply, let me check, where is it? So get market data, get, I think it should be this one, but maybe I won't be able to use it. Yeah, we can then simply go to markets. Simply go here and set everything that we need. Okay, so USD, Bitcoin, Solana, category none. Actually, everything is set already. So let's just copy this request URL. Let's paste this request URL here. And like we, like you remember, here are the IDs. So IDs equals Bitcoin and Solana. So instead of this, we will have it like that and pass coin IDs in here. Yes, I think that's it for our request. And now we can import this request here. So let's do import from, and from our services. Where is our, yeah, here they are, services / requests. And we need get watchlisted coins. Okay, so that's good. In this fetch coins, what we need to do is, first of all, like Vadim, like I showed you before, and Vadim said, like if loading, then return, because we need to tell our application to be patient while it's loading. Then here, set loading to true, because here we start our fetch, and at the end, let's set it to false. And in between those, we need to actually make the fetch. So const, let's say, watch listed coins data equals to await, and await get watch listed coins. For now, I'm not gonna pass any IDs because if you see, we need to kind of transform them. I'm not. Let me try to zoom in here, and they have after each ID they have this percentage to C. Basically, that's like their comma. That's how they're separating everything. So I'll show you how to, in our list, add in array, add after each value and simple, instead of a comma, this percentage to C symbol, or whatever it's called. Okay, that's good. Let's go back and let's okay, so after we get this watch listed data, simply we set our coins. And if you remember from before, we do existing coins. I'm thinking, should we? Because I'm not sure. I'm now thinking, like, should I do like that? because I'm not sure if we will be able to manage in time the pagination, but let's do it in case we do manage. And just like this, open it, do spread our existing coins with watch, not wish, watch, no, this one. Okay, and then set loading to false. That's good. And also we need to make our function asynchronous. That's as well very important. Right now it will we will get an error because we are not passing any kind of IDs there. So in order to pass those IDs, before that we need to transform them. So let's create a function called transform coin IDs, and with this function we simply take our watch listed coin IDs, which are here, and we do .join, which will take the array that we have, take its first value, and join it by adding another value after whatever you put here. You can put it like comma, and it will make it as a simple string from array. But as you remember, we need to join it by percentage, 2, and C. Yes. So, and in here, let's right now pass the page number as 1 and transformed coin IDs. So because we don't really have anything yet, so it will still not work. But it's not working because we're passing these coins. So we need to pass coins from the state there, because here are only IDs, and we're trying from these IDs to render this coin item, which is really impossible. And I'm still getting this one. Undefined is not an object. Let me drink, see what's happening. Nice presentation. Thanks. Thank you very much. Let's go. Yes, let's go. Okay, let's see what's not right. Where did this was introduced? Set coins, that's all good, I think. Data, coins, which is yes. Maybe here something is not correct. Oh, also we need to import page number, but that's not the problem. But let's just do that while I see it. Okay. What might be the problem here? Undefined is not. Oh, let's check our undefined is not an object evaluating either symbol iterator. Okay. Let's start the debugging process. Why it's not working? So we are importing these IDs. Yes, we have coins, we have loading, which is correct. We are joining our by transform watch listed IDs. Everything is correct here for sure. What else? Get watch listed coins, and maybe I'm missing something from flat list. Okay. It's interesting. It's interesting. Where did I introduce this error? I'm wondering. It's probably not this one. Watch list get watch listed coins. Do I return the data correctly? Response data. Yes, I am. Fetch watch listed coins, which is set coins. That's really interesting, to be honest. Maybe it's, oh no, this one. maybe there's something in the watch list here. So let me check. Sync start at it's empty. If get watchlist data, set watchlist. Yes, just like that. Okay. Oh, here, set existing coins, set coins. Undefined is not an object. Let me try to add it simply, but let's open home and let's copy its. Okay, maybe it's because I'm not returning it like this. Let's see. Not exactly. But what happens if I just do simple like that? Existing coins, right? What are, but now I don't have existing, so it's simple coins and watch listed coins data. Okay. Yes, it's because of that, and it's a little bit strange, to be honest. But it works like that. So set coin. Maybe it's because it's empty. Hey, Muzamil, paid course. I'm not exactly sure on the date, but Vadim is trying his best, and I think it's somewhere at the start of the next year. But I don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure. And good evening, Paramount. Good evening. How are you doing? Yeah, so let's leave set coins like that. As it's working, but I really don't understand why it's not working. Let me try. Okay, set coins, right? So I am taking from here existing coins, right? Then in here I'm going out, like doing a function which I spread existing in coins and also watch listed coins data. Actually, I didn't check what this returns. Okay, and it's working right now. So most likely I had some, no, it's not working. And actually, we don't need it to work, right? Let me try to console.log this in order to check. Maybe this is not returning anything, but we don't really need it to work as okay, here. So it's not even undefined. That's why. But watch listed coins data to okay. So that's why it's throwing us an error, because this one is undefined. So what if I do this? Then it's I'm wondering why it's working. Okay, this little button is really annoying. Okay, here. Okay, yeah, like that it is working. But then I'm wondering, we are not sending any coin IDs. That's why the problem. So yeah, this is probably the way to go around it. To have it, so basically we're saying we're either returning this but if this is undefined, then it will be just an empty array. And then we will be able to spread it. Yes, I think that's a good way to go around it. Because, yeah, I'm thinking like, okay, if we don't send any, if we don't have, if our watch list is empty, what's then? So then it should be empty. It cannot really spread on an empty array, on an empty undefined object or anything. Okay, let's leave it like this. Let's reload to make sure that it's working and drink some water to stay hydrated. Yes, it is working. So that's what are we going to do? Yeah, so as I explained, this one, it says either get this one, or if it's undefined or null, give me just simple plain empty array. And actually, let's do a console log here to check it out. Yes, it's a simple empty array. That's good. Okay, so now what we need to do is try. And I think only what's left is to try and add some coins. So let's go, for example, Binance coin. Let's add it. Let's go back. Let's open watch list. And it's not rendering because I'm fetching coins, fetching it definitely. Let's check it. To where to check? Fetch watch listed coins. Oh, maybe. Yes, we also need one more thing, actually, that I forgot. We need another useEffect. Basically, and we will run this useEffect. Let's do it just like this. We will run this useEffect when we change our when our watch listed coin IDs change. So that's why we pass this one. And when they change, we need to refetch our coins. And to refetch them, let's create another function, refetch coins. Maybe it would be better to say watch listed coins. So let's copy. Yeah, not noticing anymore like simple bugs. So the problem right now is that we're not seeing, there's no problem. Actually, we're just solving, trying to build on top, but we don't see any coins here, but we should be able to see. So we are trying to make it that, yeah, we're trying to make it so that it would update every time watch list coin IDs from our context changes. So every time it changes, it has to update it here automatically. And in order to do that, we would actually just should do a simple. Now I'm thinking, okay, there's definitely no time for doing the pagination here. So what we could do here is we don't then need to spread the coins if we're not doing pagination. We can just simply set it to watch listed coin IDs data, and here also say fetch. So now let's see, and also we kind of need to add the same things here from the home. So let's add refresh control, and here also refresh control, which will which should pass our refresh control. And we're doing this because we need to change it, change, for example, first, actually, we only need to change the color. And we cannot do that without this refresh control. And also when it's refreshing, just do simple loading. And when it's, and tint color should be simple white. Okay, so let me actually check what are we getting in our watch listed coin IDs. Console log.log and watch list coin IDs. There is Binance coin inside, right? Okay. So maybe I messed up the request IDs, 50 page number. Okay, but what if I add another one? Maybe. I think I might know the problem, but let's just check. And Binance coin is still, yeah, it's still like that. Okay, let's refresh it. Okay, probably I messed up this one. And also we don't need this here. So let's console log it, console.log this one. It's not much. Okay, refetch. And and also on refresh, when we drag it down, we need to fetch watch listed coins again. Okay, so now I should be able to see what it returns, and I don't need, where is it? This one. No, I need this one. I don't need this one anymore. Yeah, it's undefined. Probably I messed up the URL. So let's go back and check it again. Or maybe, first of all, before doing that, let me check one more thing. And it's transform coin IDs. Let's see what it does, what it transforms to. Binance coin and 2C cripple. I think that's how it should be. Yeah. Ripple. Okay, so maybe I messed up the URL. Let's check it out, how it should be. Close this one. And yeah, let's see, where is their API request URL. The coin IDs and Okay, that's really. Let me try here, for example, adding this one and coin IDs, and let's see. Okay, yeah, so I definitely messed up the URL, but I'm not exactly sure where did I do it. So let's go back here and there and just copy everything again, because what I did, let's here, paste it in. And here where we see IDs, deleted. Add this one, coin IDs, and also page number. Ooh. And it's still not right. What am I doing incorrectly? Maybe I'm copying, because I already saw it. USD IDs, Bitcoin, Solana, and here. It's definitely this one. We can say this for sure. But where, or maybe let me reload. Okay. There's currency USD, and then IDs, coin IDs, and then order market cap, which is correct. Descending per page 50 and page Parkline false. Why is wait, oh my god, I need a wait here. Okay, so this little await function, await thing, yes, await Axios, you forgot await. Serik, thank you very much. I'm not sure why I didn't read the chat, but you are right. Can you share the state between different screens? What do you mean by that? Can you share the screen between different states? And Serik, thank you again. I forgot. Oh, wait. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Now we're getting basically multiple of them, which is not correct. So, which shouldn't happen, let's say. We should only fetch them once and yeah. So what we are going to do, first of all, reload. Go to the watch list, and here we see our, so let's go here, and yeah, we don't need this one. This one was, as someone called, redundant, but I wanted to do it because I wanted to implement also pagination for this one, but it's pretty late already. Yeah, these tiny things are really annoying. So yeah, as you as well said, like I didn't need two of these, but I wanted to do it at first because I was thinking I might do the pagination, but I won't have time as it's pretty late. And let me check if I actually showed. But it's pretty like it's pretty similar to implement like in home. You would have a function on end reach where you would call it when you reach the end, and in order to get more data, you would actually check, probably do some sort of check on end reach if it's because you might have not a lot of items, and it will always be the end. So you would check something like if watchlist coin IDs dot length isn't equal to this, that means we need to fetch more. Also, I think I showed, yeah, most of the things. I'm not. Yeah, someone is saying add a wait. Add a wait. You mean a wait? Where? I think it's done already. No, 47. Yeah, I think it's done. But thank you guys as well. I'm very tired and it's hard to notice these tiny things already. So I'm sorry. And yeah, let's real quickly recap what we did. So let me do it like this and put this in the middle. So yeah, as you can see, we actually did quite a bit during the second part. There's still a lot to be done, but we're already getting there. I'm not sure, like maybe we will even do a third part because I still have quite a bit of ideas here and I want to like smooth out some of the things. But what we did is we are able to fetch everything from the Congekko API. We implemented pagination here, which is really nice. It's a very good practice to use. We also, as I said, made it with real data. We also implemented a watch list where we can add different cryptocurrencies that we want to watch. So let's say I added that one. Let's add USD coin as well. Let's add Bitcoin because everybody probably has it on their watch list. And let's add Avalanche. So now you see I'm updating everything. And if I go to the watch list, it didn't update it, but that's what I was trying to get to. And if we will do another stream, I will definitely implement it. But right now you have to drag in order to update the values here. So if I go here, I can delete, for example, Avalanche, go back, refresh, and it's not in my watch list anymore. So yeah, we covered a lot. We covered context API, sync storage, we Axios, bottom navigation, and yeah, there's a lot more that I would like to show and showcase. And if this stream gets a lot of, I'm not sure, not a lot, but if people like it, we may do a second part where we actually fix this issue where you have to reload every time you add new coins or delete, so that when you go here, it's always up to date. Yeah, I think I showcased most of the things. And let me really quick try actually one thing before finishing it. So let me try what here. Let's say watch list coin IDs. Let's save it. Let's reload the whole. Oh no, this one again here stuck. Well, it doesn't matter. But let's say I right now go here. It updates Terra. Let's delete. Let's go back. Okay, so that's your here's your fix. So right now, if I add, let's say, Phantom to my watch list, I go back, I go to my watch list, and Phantom is already here. And if I go Bitcoin, I delete it for my watch list, I go back, and it's not here anymore. So here I fixed this one real quick as well, while we had a little bit of time. And I wasn't able to test if there are no bugs or anything. So if we had, yes, exactly, Durigesh. That's your. That's exactly what you said. Yes, yes. So I appreciate your support, guys. There are people who stayed throughout the whole stream. I'm really impressed, guys. Wow. And yeah, thank you. And you were really active as well. Maybe there were more people who were during the whole stream, but some of you were really active in the chat and were helping me when I was stuck or didn't manage to see like things. So I really appreciate that as well. I hope you enjoyed my stream. Yeah, and hope you miss Vadim, but as well, I'm not that of a bad replacement. So again, thank you very, very much, guys. I appreciate you staying here throughout the whole time. I appreciate all the good words and all the help from you. I hope you like the application. I hope you're excited for more streams from me, because there will be a few more. And I highly encourage you to go and check out Vadim's new course that he's working. Join the waitlist, because he's really trying to do it very, very good for you, so you wouldn't have to buy multiple different courses, so you could have everything in one course. And that's why, but it has to come with a cost. He cannot really be in the streams anymore because he has to work. So I hope you'll understand him as well. And see you guys later. Thank you again for all the nice words that I'm seeing here. Love you. Bye. And stay, how Vadim says, drink water, stay hydrated, and keep coding. Something similar to this. Bye, guys.